say but the partial payment have to make August 12 due to that. I mean, you still very concerned that whether government public fund will be used in that.
Well, one way or another, it's very obvious that we do not have the funds to pay for it. 1MDB has exhausted its funds. Whatever Arokanda says about its assets, it still has to liquidate its assets. And because Malaysian government basically guarantees the debts, so one way or another it will end up in public's fund. The only question is whether it's directly or indirectly.
So when Johari Abdulkani say that this is just a complimentary and so far no request from whatever side to ask the government to assist them, you don't think that?
No, I have contested that in Parliament and it was never answered by him. In last year's budget speech, I actually put it forth to him when he answered and said that he was very confident that the arbitration was going to be successful. I said, well, IPIC is also confident. That means that at the very best we have a 50% chance of winning. But what if we have to pay? Where are we going to get the money? He has not responded until today. There was a hoo-ha and it was... At the end of the day, let's face it, 1MDB has been stripped of all its assets. It is a shell company. It doesn't have anything to pay. So it is going to come back to Malaysian public. So you can argue technically, for example, that Bandar Malaysia that owns the land in Bandar Malaysia is not a public fund. But everyone knows that it's a land that belonged to Malaysian public that was transferred to a company that is 100% owned by MOF Inc, which is 100% owned by the public. So any way you go about it, it is actually a public money. It's just a question of technically how do you want to present it to the public. So it is going to be public money, and I challenge him to prove otherwise, because he refused to answer this in Parliament. He just keep on repeating that no public money is going to be used, but when questioned in Parliament, he couldn't answer. He has not been able to provide evidence otherwise. That 1MDB actually has a source of its own of that amount to pay. What they did with rationalisation was they basically hive off the assets to the government. So 1MDB basically doesn't have assets. It's a shell company now. So there's nothing to monetize. That's my point. There's nothing to monetize. If they want to monetize, they have to rely on the land. The biggest thing they have now is the TRX, which is owned by MOF Inc, and the Bandar Malaysia, which is owned by MOF Inc. It's public fund. So even if they manage to get funding on the back of Bandar Malaysia or TRX, that is the money that belong to MOF, not 1MDB. So if they take that money to pay for 1MDB, it is for all intents and purposes, and even legally, there is a public money.